I think if it was me, I would win the toss and look to bowl first. Habibi, come to Dubai.
It's a beautiful venue, this, but there is no dew in this tournament, which is just as well for the side that's bowled first has got to defend a score. But what does this track look like? We've been talking about 264, but what does this track look like? We've been talking about 264. How he's looking after almost Virat. We've been talking about 264. How he's looking after almost Virat. We've been talking about 200. How he's looking after almost Virat. We've been talking about 200. How he's looking after almost Virat. We've been talking about 200. How he's looking after almost Virat. We've been talking about 200.
Similar length, but that stopped on him and he ended up getting, Inglis ended up chipping it straight to Virat Kohli at cover. So that tells you the one thing this wicket has given headaches for batsmen is rotating strike. It's not been easy, and that will be the case in the second innings as well. 265 is a good target set here by Australia. Speaking to their coach, they said they were happy with it. Now, from India's point of view, to get off to a good start is going to be very, very important because they don't want to let the run rate to climb too high. The pitch is one where boundaries could come, but initially it's about getting set, and that's been the hardest part of playing on this Dubai pitch, rotating strike at the start of your innings. If Indian batters can manage to do that, then we have a wonderful chase on our cards. But for now, both Australia and India will be trying to figure out what's the best way to go about on this pitch to get the success that they want.
Right, two opening batters with us. Dinesh Karthik talked about how it wasn't easy early on to rotate the strike. Sunny, how important is that as an observation?
For any format of the game, you keep rotating the strike, means you're giving the bowler no consecutive deliveries at a batter. You're also taking the pressure off you. They're not dot balls, at least in this format of the game. You don't want too many dot balls because then you look for a break from jail kind of shot and then get out. So, yes, rotating the strike becomes important, very important.
By picking Connolly and picking Sangha, they've picked two very inexperienced bowlers. Nathan Ellis bowls at the back end most of the time. He's only played 12 games. So those four bowlers between them, including Dwarshuis, have only played 25 games. How much of a factor is that? Or is the Aussie mongrel going to come in anyway?
Well, you've just left out one name there, conveniently, haven't you?
Zampa's played 111,
There you go. So, and he is key.
Yeah.
But he'll only be key if he does get into that Indian batting lineup. Australia probably wouldn't have liked that they've lost 2 wickets inside that power play. It took them some time then for Smith to come in and try and anchor something with Labuschagne, and then a little bit of time for Carey. So time equals less runs, and Australia, they don't have enough. I think par on this wicket is probably 20 short of where it needed to be. They would have been much happier, and they certainly were in a position where they could have got that 280 mark. They haven't, and they know it, and they've got to come out with all that inexperience. Maybe you could say, actually, that it's just freedom. The expectations potentially aren't there. We know what happens to India with expectations in these big games.
Bit of swing early on, you think, with it cooling down a little bit?
Definitely, yes. The white ball will swing a little bit for the first half a dozen overs or so. It depends on how the ball is coming onto the bat. Will the ball come onto the bat? Because if the ball does come onto the bat, then you can also, doesn't matter if it swings, you can still score.
Okay, so that's where it is. Sunil Gavaskar, Matthew Hayden alongside me. The target then, 265 runs to get. It's a decent surface, but it's typical of India-Australia matches. A little chance here, a little chance there maybe. Lots to look forward to in the second innings. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Indian reply.
Beautiful time of day here in Dubai. The sun just starting to set in the distance. Temperatures dropping down. They are the venue for this year's ICC Champions Trophy. We are in Dubai. We are at the Dubai International Stadium, and it is the first semi-final between India and Australia. South Africa play New Zealand tomorrow, and it was the big guns up front, Smith and Head, and then India fought back with wickets before Carey saw them to what we think is about a par score. Matthew Hayden feels it's a bit short. Australia will feel they've got runs on the board in a semi-final. It was an innings that went one way, then the other. Connolly struggled, 9-ball duck for him. Head found some form and rhythm after a few deliveries, 39 from 33. Brilliant from Smith. He looked in great touch, as did Alex Carey, 61 from 57, but they continued to lose wickets, and the body language of India walking off was of a side that fought back well. They are the bowling figures. 2 for Varun and Jadeja, 1 for Axar Patel, 1 for Hardik. But Shami was brilliant with a new ball and with the old. 10 overs, 3 for 48. Well, it's an inexperienced bowling lineup and Adam Zampa. No Cummins, no Stark, no Hazelwood. And it is a top Indian batting lineup. One of the great run chasers the game has ever seen. Fielding going to be important. India were good in the field. Maxwell, one of the best in the field. Mohammed Shami, outstanding, coming back from injury a few months ago and finding more and more rhythm with every game. Got Connolly early and then got the key wicket of Steve Smith, and one at the end as well with Kohli taking the catch. There goes equal top with Matt Henry of New Zealand. 2 wonderful new ball bowlers, really. Rohan Chakravarti, who's only just come into the side, and he played in 2 games. He has 7 already. In early March, perfect for playing cricket. High 20s, it just cools off a bit in the evening. There's been a breeze. Players and spectators have enjoyed it, especially at this time of day. Crowd is filling up. It hasn't been anywhere near full on a work day, but there are plenty in blue sitting on the blue seats. Huddle, and Steve Smith has been wonderful tactically in this tournament. He's got to get the best out of his resources. Remember, they made 2 changes short enforced. He was injured. Sangha and Connolly coming in. Johnson, the other bowler, to miss out. Here they come. 2 of the most elegant batters in world cricket, Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma. Very low heartbeat between them, but inside they will know the pressure is on. Their fans around the world expect them to be here in a semi-final, in a final. They don't look too stressed. A chat between Travis Head and Shubman Gill. Partnership of Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma. It's going to be Rohit Sharma on strike. Then Dwarshuis with the new ball. 1 slip, 3rd man is up. Fine leg is very wide for that hook shot and pull shot that Rohit plays. Brilliant average, strike rate of 93, 32 hundreds, how India and their fans would love that. They just tick over to 33. Master at one end, the apprentice at the other, already with 800s, averaging 60 with a strike rate above 100. Dwarshuis, who's had a good tournament. Remember, Australia missed out on one game because of the weather. So his stats are pretty decent. And they will look for new early wickets with this new ball. First ball of the run chase. A little bit of shape. It has swung a little bit more here in Dubai than the other venues, and that just shaped in a fraction.
Straight away on the money there, Dwarshuis. On length, there's an area into the stumps. Just playing it in a very calm manner. And as going down, doing the pitch report, you almost felt that this pitch, as other pitches that have been in Dubai as well, is not an easy one to start on.
And that fine leg was wide for the pull shot, and Rohit has tickled it fine for the first boundary.
First one was good, second one wasn't. Drifting onto the legs. Rohit Sharma, the class, the man, and no problems.
Just as abrasive as it was at the start, probably a little more foot marks, but looking at the pitch, you almost feel that you don't want that run rate to climb too high too early. And for that, Rohit Sharma becomes such a key person, because he takes on the new ball, plays some lovely shots. And just jogging your memory back to the World Cup final in 23, one thing that Australia did beautifully was plan for all the batters really nicely. And straight away here as well, they have a sweeper, they have a wide-ish fine leg, they've come with their plans.
Tends to charge, doesn't he, Rohit, more and more. He may get through the first couple of overs, but all the Aussie bowlers have to watch his feet. Just in the interval there, when DK was doing his excellent pitch report, there were a few Aussies and Indians looking at the surface, ground staff just tidying it up. Chipped, doesn't try overhit it, may not go for four, but Rohit will stroll back for three.
See what he wants to do here, Dwarshuis. He wants to come into those stumps. How many times have we seen him play that shot? Just such a graceful timer of the ball. I was hoping to DK was going to say it's going to rag, it's going to do all sorts of stuff. No?
It's probably going to turn a little bit more, but nothing too hard that the Indians can't counter.
Solid block in the first over, 7 for none, India. Ados, I was listening to you in the interval there. You feel Australia are 20 short, don't you?
I do. Well, I mean, especially when you think about the way that they set it up. I mean, 37th over, still Smith there, just about to get out, 198. And then Maxwell comes in, gets out on 205. That moment, those two moments there, is why I say they're 20 short.
Ellis has had to wait a long time to play just those 12 matches, so he's got a lot of experience away from international cricket. Going to have to use it here. Bustling run up gives it absolutely everything, lots of variety.
Yeah, listening to you, Nas, at the end of Australia's innings as well, it was really that moment where you thought, is it enough? You know, but you said one very accurate comment. This is a semi-final of a global event. The ICC Champions Trophy is coveted. And scoreboard pressure, finals pressure matter.
No, you can't bowl there. You cannot bowl there to Rohit Sharma. Back of the length, short, you will disappear. You have disappeared.
How often have we seen this? Slightly short, Rohit Sharma pulling it, not over square leg, mind you, over long on. Some serious shot making right from the start here from Rohit Sharma.
You're 20 short, don't you?
I do.
Short now, is that Carey? Did that Carey?
I mean, 37th over, still Smith there, just about to get out, 198. And then Maxwell comes in, gets out on 205. That moment, those two moments there, is why I say they're 20 short. Carried, yes sir, and not that difficult either.
Yeah, his hands just crossed over, didn't they? He didn't have one good hand on it. Well, he's had a difficult day. 9 deliveries, didn't get a run, played and missed a few times, and then Rohit Sharma's back cut one to him, and he's put it down.
It's such a cruel game, isn't it? Some days you think the sun is shining on your performance, and then other days it's so bleak. You just can't seem to catch any chance of actually getting in the game. A catch there and he's in the game.
Gaffney and Illingworth in this first semi-final. I know there's a chance put down, but I think Ellis just has to be a fraction fuller. A little bit of shape. Rohit's sitting back and waiting to pull and cut. $15 for none. Side edge.
Nas, we saw that from Australia as well. A number of players, Cooper Connolly, who you just mentioned, found it hard to play early that square of the wicket shot. I wonder whether or not the new ball is just sort of skidding on underneath the inside edge of either the left or the right hand player. It's only really until Travis Head started to go down the ground a little bit that he found it easier to go squarer.
DK, Matty Hayden there talking about the pressure of a run chase. How does India in general in these games, do they feel pressure more? You'd argue every game they're under pressure. Or do they feel the pressure in a game like this?
I'm sure they do. It's a big game. Semi-finals of a multi-nation event. Always going to feel the pressure. But that's when the big boys have stood up at various points of time, especially in a chase, whenever India has gone on to do that. In multi-nation tournaments, Rohit Sharma's, Virat Kohli's, they've come good. Now it's the turn of someone like Shubman Gill, who's batted really well, #1 ranked ODI batsman as we speak. It's a good game for him to come good again.
He's a great modern day player, orthodox player, and this is almost the perfect calculated type approach. You can really plan your innings out when you're chasing down runs on what you'd have to say is probably a par score on this track. You have your little landmark decisions to make around the phases of play, and you need to, as you rightfully said, say, right, what do we need to be after the first 10? Where's that? Virat Kohli, who is a human calculator chasing runs, and he comes in with a little bit of momentum. That's when he's so dangerous. He finds a way to stay at the crease playing conventional cricket. He'll target whom he'll have to. Some good key matchups, Zampa being one of those through the middle.
Toe end of the bat. Can mid-off get there? Can mid-off get there? No! Labuschagne. Rohit Sharma has been put down twice in 2 overs. Connolly, then Marnus, Labuschagne. It's 17 for none.
Can you believe this? Australia in this tournament have caught 14 catches, dropped only 3 before tonight. Would have been a wonderful catch. Their catching efficiency, 82%, which is more than reasonable. Oh, what are we seeing? They're usually impeccable, Australia in the field.
Well, I take you back to Ahmedabad in that World Cup final, and I take you back to Travis Head running and taking a catch over his shoulder from Rohit Sharma. Everyone went on about Travis Head's innings that day, and it was a great innings, but the catch was very similar to this. That was extra cover. Labuschagne was mid-off. Not easy, but Labuschagne is one of the best fielders in this Aussie side.
He actually overran it. He made more than enough distance. Covered territory, 25 metres, but it was actually right at the end. You can see the ball hit hard at the back of his hands. At least look at these final steps. Shovels it over, does Sharma. And right at the end, actually ends up overrunning the ball. Look where the ball hits him. The back of the hands, right on the chicken drumsticks. He's got an inch off being something perfect there. Look at his catching efficiency. He is brilliant in the field.
Well, I mentioned that Travis Head catch. It was a huge moment. It was very similar to that. Maxwell was the bowler. Down the wicket came Rohit. And Travis Head, wonderful catch. According to Matty Hayden, this hit the chicken drumsticks. Oh, that's a Jaffa. That is a Jaffa.
Well, the previous over, Nathan Ellis was slightly on the shorter side. As alluded to that. He's just tightened up his length a little bit, gone a fraction fuller. And he's finding some nice shape as well away from the batter. generally likes bowling post the power play and at the death. But today he's been given the opportunity to bowl with a new ball. And in this over, he's got it right against Rohit.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Catching efficiency, when you think of the best defensive sides in these tournaments, you have to be in those big numbers. New Zealand, excellent. South Africa, equally as good. Pass rate has to be in the 70%, doesn't it? That's minimum. When you get down as low as Pakistan, that are notorious at not being able to grab chances, you make yourself get difficult in a tournament.
4 done, 19 for none. $19 for none, plenty of stars to watch. It is, after all, India against Australia. It will be a wide. Good take.
Why do these games have to have so much drama? Seriously. I'd love to see an ECG reading of how you go about these matches. It just holds such intrigue all the time. Cat and mouse all day.
Down the pitch, and fast hands from Shubman Gill. Seriously fast hands.
This is a ploy that he's used consistently in this tournament. Lack of pace helping him as well. Stepping out and getting close to the ball. On this occasion, slightly short. The fast hands coming through nicely.
It's like a double arm backhand tennis shot.
Left arm medium paces against Rohit. The plan has been very simple. If you keep it on the stumps, then he's kept it down. Or rather the other way, when it's outside off stump, he's gone for boundaries and he's managed to connect them. But when in the stumps, that's when the dots have piled up against him. And you keep it on the stumps, close to the off stump, he's been really good.
Why, DK? Why is that an issue?
Similar to that, I think he's not able to use his arms and free himself up to play those big shots. Once he gets width, then he's able to get closer to the ball and play those balls to the boundary as much as possible. He's always a batsman who's played on length. When it's slightly short, he goes for it, or if it's full. But on the stumps, he waits for anything that's fuller or shorter. But away from him, he almost goes at any length, and that's been his biggest plus, because that's how he gets the boundaries. And I won't be surprised if he uses his feet as well, which is something that he's used often.
Now, a little sweep shot, inside edge. Not where he was intending, but he'll take it.
Well, he's almost playing like he can't get out at the moment. Unpredictable. No one ever saw this coming, including the wicketkeeper. And the kind of fearless cricket that man does there, Travis Head. An icon player. Couple of chances, now finding touch.
We speak about India and the recent success in multi-nation tournaments. I think he's been the pioneer in the way that he's had a massive appetite for risk when he's batted. He's willing to take those big chances to get the team forward ahead of the opponent. At times, India have sat back and waited for things to unfold. I think in his captaincy, he's taken it upon himself to try and take the game to the opposition. A shot like this, yes, it's an inside edge, it's gone for a boundary, but the intent that he's shown sends a message to the player sitting outside as well.
Oh, dragged on. An inside edge, and Australia have their first, and Gill goes.
Big moment. Dwarshuis was good with the bat. He was in the contest with the bat. Now with the ball. Shubman Gill just trying to steer this one down to third man. And a little chop on. We saw a number of Australian batters get away with that this evening, but not the dangerous Shubman Gill. A very handy wicket inside this power play, number 1. Gone for 8, it's 30 for 1.
Two of the greatest white ball players are in the middle. Kohli joins Rohit Sharma. And the man you want in a run chase is at the crease. This man, Kohli, is now Australia's target. Good fielding. Stops the single.
Just a bit of a nothing shot this from Shubman Gill, outside the off stump, pretty slow. Even if he had connected, at best it would have gone to point. It wasn't even a single. The slowness of the bowler and the pitch doing him in.
Doing him in, but now we've got box office. We've got two of the legacy, iconic players of this modern era.
That will be a wide. Slingy action there from Ellis, whether he just lost that foothold.
Nas, in the World Cup, we saw Glenn Maxwell coming very early, purely to trouble Rohit Sharma because they thought it was a good matchup. Do you think Stephen Smith would be using the same ploy today?
Yeah, it's a good shout. I just feel Rohit's a bit fidgety against these seamers, and they've only got a couple of them. I'd keep these two going. It is shaping a bit. It's a bit cooler. There's a breeze. But once Rohit's looking a little bit fidgety. Sweeper out there. Interesting that Maxwell is that matchup, because you'd think Rohit, regulation off spin, Maxwell would just belt him. Maybe that's how we've just shown the catch from the World Cup final. Maybe that will get you a wicket. Smith, tactically astute, very astute, captained brilliantly in this tournament.
Yeah, he's had a couple of problems, hasn't he? Outside of Zampa, the rest of their bowling attack has played just 25 games. 25 when you're bowling to this calibre. But what he has done is he's really worked around his fifth bowler. He's used up to 4 bowlers in that slot, and he hasn't over-bowled them either. Yes, sir, folks, don't go anywhere. Look at those names right there. Kohli amongst the runs in a big match, semi-final, 14,000 runs. And Rohit Sharma just ticked over his 11 grand mark. That's a price tag of note.
Subtle change in the field. Steve Smith brings himself tighter and closer at gully, a catching gully.
Not sure I can craft a better scenario here for Virat Kohli. Think of Kane Williamson. He's great at doing this as well over the years. He just manages to just manipulate strike, find a way to go through the gears. If it does get a bit hilly, come back down on the gears. He's a mastermind of just being able to sit in a run chase scenario for long enough to win.
Belted, belted, and the only one in danger there was the umpire. Absolutely nailed. We agree. 39 for 1. Umpire Gaffney smiling now, but for a while his life was flashing in front of his eyes, just there, in a bit of limbo to get out the way. Good running.
This is when I think of the umpire who wears a helmet in Australia. There's a few big bash matches as well. And actually, I have seen him. This one was a serious shot from Rohit Sharma, as always, stepping out and smacking it. Like you said, for a moment, his life could have been in his hands, and then that smirk tells you all.
Well, we need to have a heart rate monitor on him right there.
This umpire that I'm speaking about, he actually came for a Tamil Nadu versus Punjab match in Ranji Trophy. It's a bit of a turning pitch. And a left-hander stepped out and hit him, and hit it straight on his head. Since then, he started wearing the helmet. At times, even in 4-day cricket, someone hitting it so hard back at you, you don't see it coming.
Certainly relevant in T20 cricket. Bruce Oxenford, Queensland umpire, had that Perspex shield in front of his arm.
That's for sure. Lingwat, he needs to watch out as well till Rohit's around, maybe. Chris Gaffney was in the firing line just a couple of moments ago.
He'll be disappointed. Very disappointed. When you think back to that shot, DK, on these wickets that are just holding a little bit, they always get you maybe 1 or 2 hands outside your eye line, and that's when you've got the drag-ins that come into play. The wickets in Pakistan have been there now for a number of weeks. So many shots, I just see batters just knock it on the head and it disappears, trusting the bounce.
Good stop, half stop.
Well, they haven't been perfect, and they're going to have to be perfect. Nothing has changed my view that they're 20 runs behind where they need to be, Australia. But one thing for certain, you'll know that these guys will absolutely hunt up in that inner ring, squeeze India down, build pressure.
Seven overs done, 42 for 1.
So a couple of chances going down, but India 42 for 1. Cooper Connolly, left arm spinner into the attack. Inside power play. Importantly, he starts well because he will feel the pressure. Struggled a bit with the bat, put a catch down. A good start here will lift his confidence.
Yeah, it's a real test for him, a real test for a quite inexperienced Australia attack, obviously with the exception of Zampa, who will hold a key role through the middle phase of this game. 21 years of age, Cooper Connolly 23, Tanveer, Sangha, both of them just sharing 6 ODIs between them. So a huge test of their temperament above all on this big occasion.
That's the reason why Australia need to catch everything, even the half chances. Just build some pressure.
Rohit has 28 of 28 deliveries, but he's always conscious of the fact that in the power play only 2 fielders outside the 30-meter circle.
Oh, that's close. The finger has gone up. It looked out. Full delivery. He's missed it altogether. And Cooper Connolly striking in his first over. Talked about confidence. That'll lift his confidence. I think Rohit Sharma wants to go upstairs.
We have a player review for LBW. On-field decision is out. It's a fair delivery. I'm checking split screen now. Ball is close to the bat. Confirm with ultra edge when available, please.
Isn't it? 21 years old.
Okay, ultra edge coming up now. Rolling through, please. Yeah, keep rolling through. Okay, you've got a flat line, so no bat involved. Ball tracking when available, please. Original decision is out. Pitching in line, impact in line, and hitting the wickets, Chris. So stay with the original decision. Out, stand by. On screen, Chris, signal out.
Well, what a big moment this is. India's captain looking to sweep a ball. It was too full to sweep. And well done, that young man. You can't quite see him there because he's right in the middle of that huddle of Australia. But he struggled with the bat. He put down a catch. He must have been feeling the pressure and the strain when he was asked to come on earlier in the piece. Just the 8 over. And he's responded with the big wicket of Rohit Sharma. India 43 for 2.
So Shreyas Iyer, the informed player, comes out to the middle. A tidy start for Cooper Connolly. Takes a wicket in that over. 43 for 2.
Well, he'll be feeling a whole lot better about himself, about life, about his ability to contribute on this occasion. It was a real struggle for him at the top of the order. I think of the 9 balls, he missed 7 and edged 1, but what a lift he's just been given by getting Rohit out of LBW.
He'll breathe a huge sigh of relief because he put Rohit Sharma down early on. Rohit living a charmed life, 2 catches going down in that innings. Australia clawing right back into this contest now. 2 wickets in 8 overs. Here's Ellis.
Well, there were 2 dot balls before that, so this was always on the cards. I just said that he's conscious of the fact that there are only 10 overs where you have 2 fielders outside. So looking to cash in on that, playing right across the line. And look at the delight on Connolly's face. He had dropped a difficult catch of Rohit Sharma. Now he gets his man.
This is where Australia will have to support the bowlers. Michael Atherton mentioned about the inexperience. You've got to be good in the field here. Sharp in the field. It's a fielding unit. You've got to believe that you can create some magic in the field. A brilliant catch or a run out can help in a long way. Oh, that goes past the outside edge. Good carry as well.
The odd ball has just nipped a fraction, particularly for Ellis. Whether it's just a little cooler and the light's on, but this one has definitely just nipped and bounced a touch.
Kohli tends to feel for those deliveries. There is no slip in position. We know that he opens the face of the bat.
Yes, they just got to keep it tight in that area. Some more dot balls going. You've got 2 relatively new players at the crease. Plenty in the ring there to save the single. And the challenge for Australia will be see how their spinners bowl. It's good that Cooper Connolly has started off well. There's Zampa, vastly experienced. There's Maxwell as well. You can see the tension in the crowd already. It's a big crowd. This is a knockout game. It's a semi-final. That's well played. Well struck. Pitched further up and banged down the ground by Virat Kohli. That'll end the over. It's 47 for 2.
Touch fuller and a touch straighter from Ellis this time. Think of the ball that beat Kohli on the outside edge. It was a yard short of a length and a couple of stumps wider. This was right onto the drive of his bat, a full half volley.
So 9 overs have been bowled. Last over now with power play.
Just a little bit outside the off stump. The thing is, he didn't look to check his shot, although the bat, the hand came out the handle.
He likes to attack spin. He might just want to give himself a little bit of time here. Gauge the conditions. Oh, that was in the air, wide of slip and into the fence. And he flashed hard.
There really is no need for India to start worrying about the run rate because it's still under 5, under 6. So what is now needed for India, having lost his 2 wickets so far, to have a partnership. It's again the bottom hand coming off. Maybe the ball's not quite coming onto the bat.
Just wonder if it's a little too paced. It's in the odd ball, just going through nicely to the keeper. It's a full toss, put away. Easy pickings.
The first bad ball from Cooper Connolly. He'd been right on the money up until that point, but this is not only a full toss, but a high full toss.
Ten gone at the end of power play. India 55 for 2.
Nice juicy full toss around the leg side as well. Good height to put it away.
So 55 for 2, and Zampa into the attack. Australia's most 55 for 2 and very successful Zampa into the attack record against India. Australia's most experienced spinner, very successful. It's a good record against India. Just the single. Just the single.
He'll invite the drive. Zampa. More fielders in the run-saving, boundary-saving positions now. Invite the drive. Zampa. More fielders in the run-saving, boundary-saving positions now.
What he wants is one ball to grip, because then his natural variation can take over. What he wants is one ball to grip. Doubts in the minds of the batsman. Natural variation can take over. Create doubts in the minds of the batsman. Two is the call. They get it. Both these players quick between the wickets. Two is the call. They get it. Both these players quick between the wickets. I think with Shreyas, he's a very busy player. Plays spin well. Quickly already into double figures. Just Shreyas, he's a very busy player. Plays spin well. Quickly already into double figures of just 9 balls.
Bit quicker from Adam Zampa on that occasion, and very straight. Bit quicker at the stumps. That's his strength. Adam Zampa on that occasion, and
I don't think he should be worried where Shreyas is moving. I don't think he should be worried where Shreyas is moving. 11 gone, 58 for 2. Let's target the stumps. 11 gone, 58 for 2. It's 58 for 2. Still Cooper Connolly. It's 58 for 2. Still Cooper Connolly. It's 11 overs old. Once the ball gets a little older, just see gripping the surface a little more. It's 11 overs old. Once the ball gets a little older, just see gripping the surface. Seen the odd ball, especially in the evening session, turn alarmingly. Seen the odd ball, especially in the evening session.
हेलो दोस्तों, लाइव मैच देखने के लिए आपने ओपन लिंक पर क्लिक करना है या आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक करना है या फिर आप यहाँ पर क्लिक करके विजिट पर जाना है। जैसे ही आप विजिट पर क्लिक करेंगे आपने सबसे पहले नीचे आ जाना है और जिसका मैच चल रहा हो आपने उसी पर क्लिक करना है। इंडिया का मैच चल रहा है तो आपने इंडिया के मैच पर क्लिक करना है। क्लिक करके आप लाइव मैच देख सकते हैं। हेलो दोस्तों, लाइव मैच देखने के लिए आपने ओपन लिंक पर क्लिक करना है या आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक करना है या फिर आप यहाँ पर क्लिक करके विजिट पर जाना है। जैसे ही आप विजिट पर क्लिक करेंगे आपने सबसे पहले नीचे आ जाना है और जिसका मैच चल रहा हो आपने उसी पर क्लिक करना है। इंडिया का मैच चल रहा है तो आपने इंडिया के मैच पर क्लिक करना है। क्लिक करके आप लाइव मैच देख सकते हैं। हेलो दोस्तों, लाइव मैच देखने के लिए आपने ओपन लिंक पर क्लिक करना है या आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक करना है या फिर आप यहाँ पर क्लिक करके विजिट पर जाना है। जैसे ही आप विजिट पर क्लिक करेंगे आपने सबसे पहले नीचे आ जाना है और जिसका मैच चल रहा हो आपने उसी पर क्लिक करना है। इंडिया का मैच चल रहा है तो आपने इंडिया के मैच पर क्लिक करना है। क्लिक करके आप लाइव मैच देख सकते हैं। हेलो दोस्तों, लाइव मैच देखने के लिए आपने ओपन लिंक पर क्लिक करना है या आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक करना है या फिर आप यहाँ पर क्लिक करके विजिट पर जाना है। जैसे ही आप विजिट पर क्लिक करेंगे आपने सबसे पहले नीचे आ जाना है और जिसका मैच चल रहा हो आपने उसी पर क्लिक करना है। इंडिया का मैच चल रहा है तो आपने इंडिया के मैच पर क्लिक करना है। क्लिक करके आप लाइव मैच देख सकते हैं। हेलो दोस्तों, लाइव मैच देखने के लिए आपने ओपन लिंक पर क्लिक करना है या आपने यहाँ पर क्लिक करना है या फिर आप यहाँ पर क्लिक करके विजिट पर जाना है। जैसे ही आप विजिट पर क्लिक करेंगे आपने सबसे पहले नीचे आ जाना है और जिसका मैच चल रहा हो आपने उसी पर क्लिक करना है। इंडिया का मैच चल रहा है तो आपने इंडिया के मैच पर क्लिक करना है। क्लिक करके आप लाइव मैच देख सकते हैं।
61 for 2. I think the consistency of the Australian spinners will be tested. They can be consistent. You expect Zampa to be. If Sangha and the consistency of the Australian spinners with their lines and lengths tested, they can be consistent. That can expect Zampa to be. If Sangha and Connolly can be consistent with their lines and lengths. See, he's got off to a start and can add pressure. Pretty fluent at the moment, as did Steve Smith earlier.
Yeah, played beautifully, if getting out just at the wrong time.
Off to a start and
he and Alex Carey had added 54 in 9 overs. He stayed a little bit longer. Played beautifully, if getting out just at the wrong time. Upwards of 280 or 290, but as it was, 54 in 9 overs. He stayed a little bit longer. Australia, which is a good 280 runs on the board in the semi-final, as it was. Smith for 107 points for that 260 first innings. 4, which is a good score, runs on the board in a semi-final, and Smith for 107 points for that fine performance in the first innings.
.64 for 2.
By his own admission, I think Adam Zampa's not quite at his very best.
64 for 2
so far, but he'd be pretty pleased with the start that was made. By his own admission, I think Adam Zampa, the odd ball, but at his very best. Seen as much spin as in the previous game against so far New Zealand, where the ball really spun sharply, but only the odd ball tonight. The one from Ravindra Jadeja that went quite sharp spin as a pitch, but previous game against New Zealand, where the ball really spun sharply, but only the odd ball tonight. One from Ravindra Jadeja that went quite sharply off the pitch, but not much else to speak of.
Connolly.
He's just made a change now because he's had enough of the batters just pushing an easy single down the ground. So Maxwell is in that catching position. Just made a change now because he's had enough of the batters just pushing an easy single down the ground. So Maxwell is in that catching position of a short mid-off now.
Good placement. It'll race away.
Well, that's an excellent shot. Very good shot from Shreyas. He's been in very good form.
Good placement. It'll race away.
Half-century in the previous game as well. Got a half-century against. That's an excellent shot. Very good shot from Shreyas. He's been in very good form. Face of the bat at the last moment. A little bit half-century in the previous game as well. Excellent shot against. Excellent placement. Pakistan. Just opening the face of the bat at the last moment, a little bit, not too much. Excellent shot there, an excellent placement too.
Fortunately for Australia, they've just got 2 frontline seamers playing here. There's no Spencer Johnson. Ideally, in a situation like this, at times you might just want to break it up. For Australia, they've just got 2 frontline seamers playing here. There's no Spencer Johnson. Ideally, in a situation like this, at times you might just want to break it up. And they're just knocking the ball around, they're picking up the singles. It's getting a partnership going. They've already added 28 of 36. And they're just knocking the ball around, they've done it without taking any risks whatsoever. It's getting a partnership going. They've already added 28 of 36. 71 for 2. They've done it without taking any risks whatsoever. .71 for 2. Zampa into his 3rd over. Zampa into his 3rd over. Wonder how Steve Smith would want to use Zampa, what the instructions would be to Zampa. Important that he's looked as a wicket taker, not just as a container. To restrict the runs, he's got to try and get the breakthroughs. Which means enticing the batsman a little bit more at times. Just think what a great man might have done. His hero, Shane Warne, passed away 3 years ago on this day. And the Aussie spinners rise to the occasion.
I just sense at the moment that it's just a little easy for these 2 batters out in the middle. They're just picking off singles. Maybe now Smith will think about a change just to break things up for the moment.
Sangha is the unknown quantity, unknown even to the Indians, I'm sure. So, while there is still 190 runs required, maybe bring him on now.
That's close. Now, was he struck in line? They're just going to have a chat. Line looked good, but where did it strike him? It looked close. They don't review. 75 for 2.
Again, just a bit flatter from Zampa. Googly flicked out of the back of the hand, and that's why he would have not called for the review. Combination of the turn from the back of the hand and the inside edge.
$75 for 2. India going at 5 and over at the moment. Ellis now into the attack.
Well, he had to make the change. I think the runs were just coming too easily and too freely. You have to sense as a captain when the batters are in control, and you have to do something. He's gone back to Ellis, who's just got the odd ball to nip off the seam. There's that googly from Zampa, turning too far down the leg side.
And 77 for 2, and the second semi-final will be played tomorrow. And it will be South Africa taking on the Black Caps, New Zealand. That'll come from Lahore in Pakistan, from the Gaddafi Stadium.
Higher tempo cricket that we've seen down there, actually. Average first innings score in Lahore in this competition, 316 or thereabouts. Probably the most batting friendly pitch of the lot right now.
So pick your Aramco ICC player of the tournament. That's pulled away in the gap, and it's hit hard by Kohli. So boundary to end the over, 16 gone, 82 for 2.
Ellis frustrated with himself in his previous spell. He leaked a boundary off the last ball of his over to Kohli. That occasion a full ball, this time short. Kohli so quickly onto it. India 82 for 2, this partnership developing nicely.
You want to see what a close match looks like? There it is. Australia 82 for 2 after 16. India 82 for 2 after 16. Since the start of the last decade, Australia 23 wins, India 23 wins. There's absolutely nothing between the teams. Michael referred to how frustrating it is to get a boundary of the last ball. It's a good over up to that point, just 3 off it. That boundary also produced Virat Kohli's 8,000th run in run chases alone.
That's crazy, isn't it? He is the chase master. Just his ability to calculate a run chase, to work out when to take the risk, if he needs to take a risk. Because, you know, once he gets in, it's so hard to get out.
There's a fielder in the deep. Very interesting to see how they play Zampa, because he's the one bowler who's got a good head-to-head against India's top 4. Average batting first 51.4 in chases, 64.53. It's almost as if he's plotting a run chase.
Remains calm as well. Clarity of thought and then remaining calm.
It's a long way away at the moment, but sometimes the great players just say, I've got this. Fielding's been excellent. You just assume that with Australia.
Zampa needs to target that good length spot because it's quick through the air. I think he's been giving them this opportunity to milk that singer through mid-off and mid-on. But pitching the ball a little too up.
That's the length you're talking about right there, Ramiz. Just that you can't punch down the ground with some confidence, particularly on a surface that's starting to slow up. It's almost as though he has so much more control with his wrong opposed to his leg break. Times he can look to bowl that too fast.
$17 gone. It's 85 for 2. Could be an important moment in the game. Young player being talked about for a while. Saw him playing a Big Bash game last year and he looked very good. This is a knockout game. A lot would depend on how quickly he settles in.
Yeah, one thing when you're bowling to somebody like Shreyas Iyer, we know he's going to be aggressive against spin. He'll look to try and put Tanveer Sangha under pressure to start his spell.
In doing so, you might get a chance too.
Comes in with no extra baggage out there. This is the big moment for him. I think he's got to look at the situation, opportunity as an opportunity to become a hero. He's bowling to the best in the business, and what happens if he gets rid of Kohli? I mean, that'll get Australia right back in this game. So he's got to think like that.
Yeah, he's somebody who has got a lot of self-belief. There won't be too many doubts in his mind. To come in and make your Champions Trophy debut. No bigger stage, no bigger opponent.
It's a nice field. I'm just trying to see where's the boundary, if they're looking for the boundary. It's got to either find the gap over cover. Don't see them hitting against the line, against the turn, over mid-wicket.
Well, the gap that's presented itself the most is behind square. Almost tempting Shreyas Iyer and Virat Kohli to take the sweep on. So you know what, if you're prepared to play it off the stumps, good luck. But you miss it, you're in trouble.
There's the other place you could get a boundary if you can beat that man to his left. Labuschagne.
Pace variations from Tanveer in the first over. 84, 90, 85, 86, 95. It's good going. It's not a bad start at all. 88 for 2.
Zampa had a spell of 4 overs, 4 tight overs, 4 overs, none for 13. He's gone back to Ben Dwarshuis. 4 overs, 1 for 23. The wicket early on of Shubman Gill playing on. Going round the wicket. Shreyas has got to 25, and he's got to 25 pretty quickly, and he's looking good.
Here was the first wicket, chopped on Shubman Gill, just trying to run it down to third. And Cooper Connolly with his first. It was in his first over, tempting Rohit Sharma into the sweep. Bang in front.
Likes playing the sweep shot. Does Rohit. They'll get the extra run, I think, on the overthrow. It's not a shot that's his best friend.
Good bit of work by Labuschagne behind point. So good, it costs his team a run. Always feel a bit hard done by when you execute your skill perfectly. They charge through for another one.
Just trying to figure out how Australia can get a wicket here, because that's the way out for them. So is it by squeezing the flow of runs, by making it tough for this pair? And if they do that, but then they also allow Iyer and Virat Kohli to continue to gain momentum, because 28 Shreyas from 37, Kohli 25 of 34, so they're well settled. Change of pace, can it work for Australia? Do they have the feel for change of pace?
Well, that's when Nathan Ellis starts coming into his own as a bowler. Very similar with Ben Dwarshuis. I'd love to see him go over the wicket here, angle across, and then use your change of pace. Try and get them to force a big shot down the ground. When you're able to just play off the back foot, these two have got such wonderful hands. They can get off strike easy enough. So try and force them into making a mistake. So right, you take us down the ground. We're going to pitch the ball up a little bit, but we want you to take a risk over the mid-on or mid-off. Try and force an error that way. With that comes reward as well.
Problem is that required rate is 5.55. It's not gigantic. All they have to do is to do exactly that. Just milk those ones and twos and they'll be home. Wickets is what Australia should be after, and this pair is quite clever to understand how to make Australia frustrate. They'll keep on doing this. Just rotate the strike. They have the momentum.
Ramesh makes a valid point. Without being in too much danger, they got 5 in that over. 93 for 2 after 19. He needed 172 from 31 overs. It might be time for drinks, this. Rohit Sharma led a charmed life. It was over when he got to 28 of 29 balls. Shubman Gill before that out for 8. But this is a nice little partnership. They just crossed 50. 50 of 67 balls. And both of them were fairly calm in the middle. Their brief at the moment, their first brief is to ensure the asking rate doesn't go above 6. I'm just thinking, Finji, how do you look at a run chase? Just the one over from Sangha so far. You need 172. Can you say keep going at 5 and over and come down to say 100 of 17 overs? And then take it from there without losing wickets, obviously, not more than one in that process.
Yeah, and I think that's why Kohli is such a master. His ability to take risk out of the game. Make sure that India continue to drive this advantage. How often did we see in the Australian innings, partnership gets to 40 or 50, then they lose a wicket. You have to restart all over again. Then the next partnership was 40 or 50. They just lack that one massive partnership. And while this is just ticking over comfortably with zero risk, Australia will feel like they have to make a play soon. Do they bring an extra fielder up? Are you prepared to play that risk-reward game that sometimes as a captain you have to get absolutely right?
As a captain in games like this, were you big on matchups? Were you big on studying things like those? Or did you go more by instinct?
Well, there's time for both. I think as an overall view, you go through the best matchups that you've got and you try and exploit the smallest pieces of detail. You squeeze every bit of information you can from the analyst. Say, right, what's the best matchup for right now? But then on a day, you can have a totally different feeling.
Oh, it's gone fine. I think it's got enough on it to get to the boundary. Man was at exact 45 and he played it fine enough. 100 comes up for India as well. Virat Kohli is not going to let this opportunity go past him because he is a player of big moments. Bigger the stage, bigger becomes Virat Kohli. Now he's put that in the gap too. That is a superb shot. It's a very long boundary there that allows someone to get there. So he'll come back for 2. But just like that, of the young bowler, they've got 9 on his second. The problem is that he's very young, the leggy. So should he be put under pressure by getting that long off in? Can he get it right then? What will happen to his demeanor? Will he, or can he last like this by being a little aggressive? Another single.
And run flow continues for India. 103 for 2.
The operative number there from India's point of view is 0. 48 for no loss. Haven't lost a wicket in those 10 overs. Going at just under the required rate. It's still 5.4. Right, this is Glenn Maxwell. This interests me. I thought he might go with the left arm of